Coming up, it's a Queen special edition of My Generation, hosted by guitarist Brian May. The best of Queen. Coming up, only on VH1, the channel that plays the greatest hits.
My fellow Americans. All systems are ready for now. Disorders. Drop out. Well, all right.
Hi, and welcome to My Generation. I'm Brian May from Queen, and I'll be your guest host for the next half an hour or so on a special all-Queen show. So let's start things off with a song that really started things off for us in America, Bohemian Rhapsody. After about 4 weeks of recording and assemble over 180 voices, which are all us, because this big choir effect you hear is just us, the song was finally completed. Now, in those days, the technology was a little more primitive than it is today, so by the time we'd run the tape back and forth that many times, you could see the daylight through it. So we nearly lost the track. Anyway, we did a quick transfer, and the rest is history. So let's look back at a little history with Bohemian Rhapsody. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Brian May, and we're doing the special Queen version of My Generation here. The next video clip you're going to see is from one of our biggest selling singles in this country. It's We Will Rock You coupled with We Are the Champions. Now, the video which we did for We Will Rock You was shot just in a couple of hours in our drummer Roger Taylor's garden, so if you look very carefully, you'll see us all freezing to death because it was really, really cold. So we all got red noses there. The other thing to say about this stuff is that every time you see a big game these days, you'll hear people going which makes us very happy. So here we are. This is We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champions. Yeah, it's one of those good old videos from Queen. We're back live now on My Generation, and just in case you were wondering if this really is live, I'll make a little noise for you. Yeah, I'll stop messing around now, and we'll stop talking too, and we'll have another video. This is from our album, A Day at the Races, and it's called Somebody to Love. Yeah, welcome back to our special all-Queen My Generation. I'm Brian May, and up next is Crazy Little Thing Called Love. We actually played this song on our one and only live performance on US television back in 1982 on Saturday Night Live. Just in case you happen to miss that show, it goes like this, okay? I'm lying. It goes like this. Our final video this evening is from our second #1 single in the States, which is called Another One Bites the Dust. It was written by our bass player, John Deacon, and just to refresh your memory, you get this little riff here. Or something like that. And our album called The Game was cooking along very nicely, sold about 1 million or so, and then suddenly some black radio stations picked up this song, and apparently a lot of people thought we were a black group. Anyway, it became very big, and suddenly the album went from about 1 million to 3 million. This one's called Another One Bites the Dust. Well, I'm sorry to say that's the end of our show for now. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and thanks very much for all your support over the past 20 years. We're still out there, we're still making music, and we're still enjoying ourselves, and we hope you are too. This is Brian May saying, take care, and see you soon. Hi, and welcome to My Generation. I'm Brian May from Queen, and I'm going to be your host for a special all-Queen show. Our first video clip is Killer Queen, which was our first major hit in England. It reached #2 there in 1974. And I remember thinking at the time we were a group that was making its name as a heavy live act, and I thought this single was a little bit light at the time. But looking back on it, I think it's something to be proud of. I don't mind it at all. See what you think. This is Killer Queen. She keeps Yeah, that was Killer Queen from the album Sheer Heart Attack. Our next video is Queen's one and only collaboration. Under Pressure was written and recorded more or less on the spur of the moment when David Bowie dropped into our studio in Montreux. The song reached about 29 in the States or something, but in Britain it was #1 for 2 weeks. It also sounds a lot like a recent US #1, and contrary to popular belief, this was not written by a young white boy in 1991. This was written by 5 old codgers way back when. Here it is, Under Pressure, with a little help from David Bowie. Oh, I'm sorry, we're back. No, we're not going to do that one just yet. Anyway, welcome back to the all-Queen special edition of My Generation. I'm your host and the guitarist from Queen, Brian May. Coming up next is a song that I have to admit to writing, which is called Fat Bottom Girls. There's really very little I have to say about this except that it's a very tasteful kind of hymn to these beautiful girls who, thank God, surrounded us for most of our career. This is from the album Jazz. It's called Fat Bottom Girls. For our next video, you're going to enjoy this one. This is I Want to Break Free. And this video probably single-handedly did more damage to us in the United States than anything we've ever done. We had the idea that we should dress up in drag, which we thought would be a lot of fun, and we still do think it's a lot of fun, probably. But a lot of people here didn't see the joke. But it was also a parody on an English soap at the time and has a lot of deep and meaningful things in it, you know. Anyway, it also, on a more serious note, became an anthem for many repressed people all over the world, which made us very happy. Take a listen and keep your eye on the cute girl in the pink nightgown with the bunny slippers. I'll just keep practicing here, okay? I'm glad to see you back. Thanks for staying with us on this special edition of My Generation. The next video you're about to see is a song written by our bass player, John Deacon. It's called You're My Best Friend. This is from the album A Night at the Opera, and the title for that came from a very famous Marx Brothers movie, which I'd recommend you watch. This is You're My Best Friend. Yeah. Our final video is a song written by me called Tie Your Mother Down. And it's another one of those poetic little things, you know, full of deep meaning about life. And finally I get to play my riff. Here it is. Yeah, well, it looks like we just about ran out of time. I hope you enjoyed this all-Queen special edition of My Generation. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and by the way, thanks very much for giving our brand new album, Innuendo, such a good reception here. Much appreciated. This is Brian May saying goodbye and take care.